We're all here now, right? So this is Thomas aquí. Hey, which parent are you from? Oh, you're from the Taiwan audience. You don't have to. Come on in.
Thank you.
All right. My name is Mr. DeHouse. This is going to be our first meeting. The purpose of our meeting, ¿quién sabe por qué estamos aquí? Why are we here? Anybody know? Why are we here? To get to know one another, first of all. We want to know each other. We want to feel comfortable with the school and with the teachers. And we want to kind of get to know each other and think, how can I help my son or daughter at home? Right? That's the purpose of these meetings. ¿Cómo nosotros podemos ayudar a nuestros hijos en la casa? Okay. Eso es la razón que yo tengo esos videos para tratar de ayudar a nosotros. That's the reason for those videos too, so you can help your kids at home. All right? So, here, the next one, okay. All right, so I am Mr. DeHouse. I'll be talking about a little bit about attendance, our school rules, our discipline plan, our daily schedule, specials, a little bit of our communication, how I communicate with parents, going over a little bit of the curriculum, the textbooks that we're using, kind of like our homework and grading policy, and what do the students need to do to get out of the 5th grade, okay? ¿Ustedes entienden eso bastante? ¿Sí? Un poquito. Las reglas de la escuela, okay? Esos son los libros que estamos usando, cómo yo me voy a tratar de comunicar con ustedes y cómo es nuestro día. Eso yo voy a hablar sobre eso. Okay. All right. I am married. I have a high schooler. Work. Wait till I get to high school. Homework hard. Wait till you get to high school. Oh, he was up till 12:30 last night.
Whoa.
Luckily, my wife, Korean genius in math, so she can help him.
Genius.
Because I looked at math, ooh, that's hard.
Go mom.
Right. Okay. So I met my wife in Korea. So I mean, I worked in Korea for 5.5 years. Then I lived in Costa Rica for about a year, a little bit less than a year. And then health issues with my mother, had to move back up to America. So I'm here. I graduated from San Diego State University many moons ago. I got my master's at Liberty University not that long ago. So I've been teaching at least 20 years, I mean on and off. In Korea I did a lot of teaching, but it's a lot different there.
Oh, way different.
It's way different.
Super way different.
But I've been here at Knight Elementary School for about 13 years. Yo estaba enseñando aquí por como 13 años. Okay. ¿Qué es importante? What's important for our students? Okay. Try to be here every day. Cada día nosotros queremos que ellos estén aquí porque hacemos muchas cosas cada día, right? If they're not here every day, they're going to miss a lot, right? Some days more than others, just like high school. Man, you miss one day of high school.
Man,
it's bad. Okay? Okay? Important, try to get to school on time. And most students ride the bus, pero si usted está trayendo a tus hijos con tu carro, en tiempo, por favor. We want to try to be here, okay? School hours are really from 8:50. Really, the students get here at 8:20, and we start morning work at 8:20. But officially, really 8:50 to 3:20, okay? Después de 2:30, no puedes checar tus niños. We can't have our students go out after 2:30 because we have to worry about the buses. Los autobuses están aquí, okay? Y también eso es muy importante. This is important. If your child is absent, you must write a note, okay? Oh, I'm just going to email the teacher. Ooh. Note, handwritten note, okay? At least your hand signature, okay? Porque los niños pueden ir ahí también. Oh, señor I feel very sick today. Okay, I'm not going to be there. So, always handwritten notes, so we know that it is truly you that are excusing your child and not because my son. Okay. Okay. Las reglas que nosotros tenemos son muy fácil. Our rules are very simple. We try to keep it kind of like the golden rule, right? We want everyone to be respected, right? I respect you, you respect me. I always tell my kids, if you feel I've disrespected you, you better speak up and tell me right away, because I have no intention of doing that on purpose. But if you misunderstood me for some reason, let me know, okay? Okay. I am very direct with my students, but always respectful, and the rule is everybody needs to respect each other. You don't have to like each other, right? Okay, you shouldn't like everybody. That's why I tell my students, you shouldn't like everybody, because there's some people, you shouldn't like them. That's great, right?
Thank
Like
you.
those people, like they're over there, yeah, don't, no, they're bad influences, don't, right? But respect everyone in the classroom, okay? Be responsible. Responsabilidad muy importante, okay? Si ustedes saben, mis reglas son muy duros dentro de esta clase. My rules are pretty strict, right? You don't sign the agenda book, your homework's not done. I got everything else done. Yeah, but you didn't get that signed, right? Oh, where's your reading log? Oh, I forgot. Oh, homework's not done, right? Put the thing over there, right? And hey, it's like, look, believe me, you will know, right? When you get to middle school, and that's what our job is, getting ready for middle school. What do you think is going to happen in middle school? Same thing, right? Okay. Be safe always. Nosotros queremos que ellos sientan bien adentro de clase. Entonces, otra razón para esto, right? Okay. That's another reason for being respectful, okay? Because we don't want the conflict between students. She said that, he said that. Ooh. And then it just rolls into a big snowball, okay? Be ready to learn. Okay, eso es muy importante. Cuando ellos vengan aquí, que ellos son listos para aprender, right? And I tell my students, you have to have that good, you got to have a really good attitude. If you have a bad attitude, right, one of those sourpuss attitudes, no vas a aprender así. Porque usted está diciendo a tu mente, yo no quiero aprender nada. Right? If you're like that way, it's like, you're just telling yourself, I don't want to learn. And lots of research has shown that if you don't have that good attitude, right, we need to change that mindset. Okay? Work hard. Okay? All successful people work hard. It's not that they're smarter than anybody else. Okay? Now some people are lucky, but besides, I mean, things come to them a little bit easier. But que más importante de todo es que ellos están trabajando muy duro. That they're working hard. That's the most important thing, right? Okay. I don't mind if you don't know how to do something. That's what my job, right? Okay. Tell me, I'll be more than happy to help you. I'll make a YouTube video. I'll do something to help you, right? But don't sit there and say, I know how to do it, and then really when you don't, okay? You're only hurting yourself, okay? And this one, just try to be nice. Nice, right? Okay? See, if you have to say something, right, think beforehand, is that person going to get upset with me, yes or no, right? Okay? Right. I tell my students all the time, you can think whatever you want to hear. When it comes out here is when the problem starts, right? Okay? Usted puede pensar cualquier cosa que usted quiera adentro de aquí, pero cuando usted empieza a hablar, eso es cuando los problemas empiezan, right? So just be careful with what you say, right? And be ready to apologize if you said something that really wasn't right, okay? All right, so those are our school rules. They're fairly simple, okay? With me, I will give the students a warning. I make with like tally marks. I'll do like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they already know it's like, okay, I need to settle down because we need to move on and transition to our next thing, okay? I will send home notes, lots of them. You guys have gotten a lot of notes. Muchas notas, the Señor Degeushelp, via Dojo, okay? I like Dojo because it's quick, right? My phone little flashes, I can be in my car, I'll go ahead and answer you, and I'll write big, long, extensive things back to you if I'm at home, but otherwise they'll have to be short, okay? We are gonna have conferences in September. Anytime you want a conference with me, just call me up or Dojo me. Hey, you know what, can I come in and talk to you? I'm kind of concerned about one issue or another issue. Dojo me, right? Okay. I'm concerned about this kid in class is not being nice to my kid in class. Dígame, tell me si los niños tienen problemas, okay? Porque muchas veces ellos no van a decir nada, right? Those kids won't tell me anything, right? I've had before, they go to the, and I tell them, just tell me, right? we'll keep it a secret, I'll just go talk to you. They don't tell me. Then the parent calls me, wow, what's happening? Like, kids tell me, right? I try to nip it in the bud as fast as possible, okay? So if you haven't signed up for Dojo, now's the time to sign up. Make sure you sign up there. All right, here's our typical day, okay? The students will come in around 8:20. I will always have some kind of morning work for them. Cuando ellos vengan adentro de aquí, ellos tienen trabajo para empezar, okay? El mayor del tiempo es matemáticas. Usually it's math, or it might be math and language arts and something that we may address later on during my language arts block, okay? We do have a math workshop. With the math workshop, depending on what I'm teaching, it may be whole class at times, but we try to do a workshop model where I meet with small groups over there to kind of address certain issues that I'm seeing with the students. We have our rotation over here, and I've got a big class. Yo tengo 27 personas, a pretty big class, 27 students. So it's hard, I mean, it's usually around 10 to 10:50, we'll either be doing science or social studies, okay? Because our day is so squeezed that some days it'll be science, some days it'll be social studies, some days part of our language arts block will be addressing things like, you know, in the text, how do we read the text, how do we read a science book, social studies book, because the students really need those skills to become successful later on. Our lunch is starts at 10:50, which is real early, and usually we go to lunch. From lunch, we'll go to teacher-directed PE. Okay, I know it says recess there, but it's really teacher-directed PE, and we exercise before I let them go, right?
Oh, exercise.
Right? But yeah, students have to exercise. So when we go outside, we make sure we exercise. Vamos a hacer ejercicios antes de jugar. Okay? Yo creo si tenemos eso. Okay? We have a read aloud almost every day. I'm lucky enough to have another teacher come in here, Mr. Gordon, to help with the language arts block. And right now we're reading a series of books that all have to do with, and he took lots of them because he's helping other classes as well, getting the students ready, talking about the Civil War and the Underground Railroad. ¿Ustedes saben Harriet Tubman? No? No? The kids will know a lot about Harriet Tubman. They learned a lot about Harriet Tubman, and we're learning a lot about the Underground Railroad through our read-alouds. And we're using those read-alouds to talk about, you know, how to look for different things in the text, like similes, metaphors, how to make a character map, how to use context clues, because they don't, you know, they need help with it. They need to kind of work with it. So our Readers Writers Workshop block is pretty long, because also after reading, then we're going to go to writing. So part of our Writers Workshop block is word study. We're learning Greek and Latin roots. Okay. The purpose of that is to, when they come across a word maybe they don't understand, but if they know the root, okay, it helps them with those context clues and maybe understand, right? You see the word hydro in a word, something to do with water, right? And if you want to be a doctor, this will help you.
Yeah.
And everything else too, right? Okay. But those Greek and Latin roots are really important because of muchos de nosotros palabras son de Greek and Latin. Y si sus hijos o hijas hablan español, más fácil para ellos. Porque las palabras en español son más cerca que nosotros estamos haciendo en clase ahí, right? The Spanish kids almost have an advantage because, right, Spanish has lots of Greek and Latin roots that are associated with that, okay? Then we have specials. Our special, we have 6 specials, so there's no like Monday, this special, Tuesday, that special. It just rotates from day to day. We had a lot of art on B days, C days. We have 2 PE days, you'll notice, because we have to make sure that they get enough PE in there. Technology specials are really great, and we got music, of course. All right, mi comunicar con ustedes, okay? Here's what you need to expect from your child, okay? Every Friday, Friday folder. They keep the Friday folders in their desk. I don't pick those up, okay? There's a side that says return to school. Un lado que dice return to school. Entonces, esos papeles yo quiero, okay? Ustedes van a firmar eso. The return to school side is the side that you sign that, so I know that you've seen it, right? Because the kids are sneaky.
Yeah.
I'm not going to show you, all right? So you got to on that side, you got to sign those. Bring it back. I may not collect it, but I want to see that you've signed it to make sure that you've seen it. Hopefully, okay? I do a lot more dojos, and my kind of weekly newsletter now is kind of almost either dojo because I write them all the time, and so and the little video the students make. It's usually about 5 minutes, okay? But daily agendas need to be signed every day. Cada día. Ellos necesitan tener las cosas adentro de ahí. Y ellos necesitan, aquí es donde ellos necesitan escribir. Every day I write the homework here. So the students know what the homework is. They just need to copy it correctly. Right? That's the key. Right? All the way through high school. Copy correctly. Oh, I didn't know. I know, they love to talk, you know,
Oh,
kids.
gosh.
I mean, they're 5th graders, right? I mean, all right, so I'll write the homework here. If we're falling behind in class, sometimes, some of this will be like, they'll be doing it on their own, and then we're gonna revisit it when they come back to class, okay? Because our science books, the reading level's pretty high, social studies high, and the concepts in there are very difficult. So we have to do a lot of talking in class about those. Okay? So, is everybody on the parent portal? ¿Ustedes tienen el parent portal, sí o no? ¿Sí? Pones una mano para arriba si tienes el parent portal. So put your hand up if you're on the parent portal. I just want to get an idea. 1, 2, 3, go. Y yo quiero saber por qué ustedes no están en el parent portal. ¿Por qué no? Necesitas hacer esos papeles en la oficina, right? Go to the office, sign up for parent portal, because how are you going to know what your kids are doing? Vas a hablar con tus hijos o hijas, ¿cómo estás haciendo? How you doing? I'm doing great. Oh, good, okay. No, okay. Necesitas tener el parent portal, okay? Entonces, ustedes pueden mirar las calificaciones que ellos tienen. You can see their grades. You can see what did they do in each subject area. When I post a test on there, you can think, okay, well, I thought I saw you told me you studied for that test. What happened? Right? So we want to know, and I want you to know, right? Keep up on it. Believe me, starting middle school, high school, you really better keep up on them because they're going to sink like a rock.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm telling you this. I told some parents a few years, I've told parents in the years, you know what? If you don't get on your kid's going to flunk the middle school. And they nodded at me. Yes, I will. Next year, hey, how's it going? Oh, what's his name? Flunked the middle school. I knew it! And I'm not happy about it, right? But I'm trying to warn them, you need to stay on your kids, right? Middle school is hard, high school is hard. This is where we start from here, right? I treat them kind of like a middle schooler in here, right? So that's why they're probably gonna go home and complain about me. Oh, I didn't sign that big. Yeah. Getting ready for middle school. We're acclimating right now, okay? Progress reports. Okay, although they come home every 9 weeks, progress reports should not be a surprise. You go down the parent portal, at every moment, as long as they post what your child's grades, okay? I try to return phone calls immediately. If you call me or email me. If you really need to talk to me and you dojo me, give me your phone number, I'll call you up, okay? In case you don't want to wait till the next day, okay? So if you haven't signed up for dojo, and I think most people have, thank goodness. Last year was difficult, but this year most parents are on the class dojo. We have students are responsible for the social studies and science books. They should have been taking their science books home, but the science books and social studies books are also online, okay? So this is kind of heavy, right? And you got the other book kind of heavy, right? So I prefer having a book to look at. Yo prefiero tener un libro enfrente de mí, yo puedo mirar así, pero también nosotros podemos usar electrónico libros, the electronic books, okay? Students have to be responsible for their books. Now, I've looked and seen kind of the things, okay, a little tear here, somebody wrote in there. Okay, I understand that, right? But major issues with the books they're gonna be responsible for, and you don't wanna have to buy one because they're expensive. Okay? That's why, just again, that responsibility to students. And again, like I said, the textbooks are online. All right. Well, what can I do with that E-class? Okay? All your students, I told them what their reading level was. Okay? If you look in their agenda book, where they're keeping on their reading log, unless they're new to our school, because when I did it, I didn't read with everyone. But here's how to kind of look at that. Okay? Voy a poner esto para arriba por un segundo. Just put that up for just 1 second, just so you kind of know. T is 5th grade. Ese nivel, si usted mira que ellos tienen un T, okay? This is T, that's the beginning of 5th grade, right? So 5th grade is going to be T, U, V, W, and above, right? Okay. T, if your child has a T now, that's a C grade, because that's an average grade, right? Okay, so that would be like a C, B, A, kind of at this point, right? But it also depends on their reading comprehension. Now, of course, as we get to the middle of the year, that's a C, right? Because this is at the beginning of the year, the average student. Now the average student should be here, right? And then at the end of the year, that's a C, okay? And if they want higher than a C on that portion of the reading, they really have to read a lot, okay? And that's why, esa es la razón que nosotros estamos leyendo, okay? Yo quiero más o menos 25 páginas cada noche. Okay, my goal for the students is about 25 pages a night, okay? And I know some days I can't make it, right? Try and catch up later, okay? But the AKS is 1 million words, right? 1 million words is our AKS. So to reach that without a problem, about 25 pages, I'm hoping per night, okay? Y yo sé que a veces ellos no pueden hacer eso, pero más de todo yo quiero es que ellos están tratando de hacer eso. Okay? I try and keep homework about 15 minutes per night. It may be a little more, maybe a little bit less, depending. Okay. Notice they say 30 minutes of reading, and I have about 20 minutes of reading, or about 25 pages. So más o menos ellos tienen que estar leyendo como 30 minutos cada noche. Esa es la razón que yo puse 25 páginas. That's the reason I put 25, right? If they get 20 through 25 pages, I'm quite happy, okay? Okay? Homework is always due the next day. If your child is absent, okay? Si tu hijo o hijo no está aquí, ellos tienen doble la tarea, right? Then they got double the homework because they have to do what they missed the day they were absent, plus they need to do what we're doing that night because everything is reinforcing what we're learning in the classroom, okay? And all I can say is for parents, please, cada noche, look at that agenda. Okay, mira ese papel donde ellos están escribiendo cada noche. Okay? And mira que ellos están leyendo y poniendo toda esa información en el logbook que ellos tienen. Make sure they check that agenda, that logbook every night. That's what we want. Every night, check that logbook, check that logbook, check that logbook. Right? Okay? Because we want to hold the students accountable, right? And part of our, we have to work together, right? Because I can't go to your house and make sure they do it. I need you to make sure that they're doing those reading logs every night, okay? And then they come in, and then we can kind of work with them that way. If you notice on your page, did you see this on the thing about reading? Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but good information there about the importance of reading if you want your child to do well in school. Okay? We're in the Parkview cluster. Parkview cluster means we have the grading policy throughout the cluster. Okay? Homework is about mastery. Okay? I tell my students, if you tell me, I think I know what I'm doing, you don't. Right? It means you got to practice some more. Right? Either you know what you're doing, especially with math. The reason I like math so much is because the rules never break. Right? As long as you know the rules, it never breaks. Okay, they're going to be using those same math rules all the way through high school. So it's important that mastery is pretty important as far as those math rules go. Okay, and like I said, look at my YouTube videos if you're not sure how to do something or the way we do things. Okay, I think the students didn't do so well on test, right? Oh, can I retake that test? You get one chance, right? One test per subject per quarter. Now, does it say one test 4 times in a subject? No, one test per subject per quarter. And before they allow to do the test, we have to give them a packet that they're going to do to prove that they're worthy to retake the test. Okay? I will tell you this about when I give tests. Nothing on that test should be a surprise. Nothing. Right? I'll project the test on the board. I'll say you have to know this for the test. We do the study guides. And if you look at the study guide in the test, oh my gosh, it's word for word almost. You know, so if they know the study guides and we discuss the study guides, do that. Okay? Also, those Quizlets. I'm making a lot of Quizlets. I stay at home and I do the Quizlets. Again, driving around, driving at home, driving in the car somewhere, going somewhere, give me your phone, go to my Quizlets. Okay? Who says those Quizlets? Okay? I sent out the links. You click on that link and they can start playing the game, practicing for the test. Right? Okay? Students don't realize 5th grade's a lot harder than 4th grade, right? We expect a lot more. And the first test that we took, which was the 3 branches of government test, okay? It should have been if they really truly studied, but they're not used to studying, right, that well. They didn't do so well, right? So I made a Quizlets. I'm gonna let them kind of retake that test and think, okay, I'm gonna be nice on this one right here, but we need to kind of step it up as far as studying goes because really, that should be their one test makeup, okay? And in our school system here at Gwinnett County, work not turned in after 3 days is they'll say NTI, which is a 0. Wait till you get to middle school and high school. Boy, your kid comes home with that NTI. Hey, I forgot it. You know, a lot of that, I forgot. It's like, why did you turn that thing in? I forgot. Because every little grade counts. It's so important to make sure that homework gets done. Because in the middle school, everything's graded. Every little scrap of paper you turn in is graded in that middle school. Okay? So here's how we grade. 90 and above means excellent. I can tell you Mr. DeHouse's class hard to get an A, right? A means outstanding. Not, oh, that's no, it's A means an A, outstanding. So, but if you do the study guides, you play the Quizlets, you watch my videos, you do the 10 marks, there's no reason not to get an A. Okay? Solamente necesitas poner la fuerza que necesitas. Si usted sabe, okay, yo necesito poner más fuerza. Okay? Remember, we have to take these grades as a learning opportunity. Oh, I didn't do so well on that test. What does that tell me? I got to study harder for the next one, right? Maybe I got to stop trying to kick the kid in front of me, right? Like this. I see these kids in class like this today. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm trying to tell you what's going to be on the word. You know, we got a word study test coming up. I'm trying to tell you. So, and we don't. They're 10 years old, right? Okay, so 80 to 89 is what we consider a B grade. But C is that important one because only 74 to 79 is a very small window for that one. And once they get below that 74, a small window again for what we consider a D, 70 to 73, and below that is unsatisfactory, right? And we don't want to be here, right? I mean, how much more effort is it to go from here just a little bit more to get that grade? That's what I want the students to realize. If I had just tried a little bit harder, I could have gone on through. I got that grade. So what do they need to get out of 5th grade? They need to pass. They need passing grades in all those every 9 weeks, those quarterly reports. Okay? And they need to pass the English language arts portion and the math portion of the Georgia milestones. Okay? Which means a lot of writing. Okay? The shift is going over more towards teaching these kids of ours, well, when you get in the real world, is your boss going to say, write me a story? Please write, no.
No.
They're gonna say, here's this report, I'm too lazy to read it. You read it, you report back to me.
Yeah.
And I want you to summarize well, and I want you to write up a report, and then tell me what's going on, right? So, really that's the way things are going, right? And that's what business is asking, and the college professors are asking, that these students need those better writing skills. And we are going to practice a lot of those writing skills, okay? It's gonna look like a lot of work, and it will be a lot of work, but believe me, they will do better, right? And when they get to the middle school, those teachers, you know, if they're doing what they need to do, we'll be happy with them. All right, any questions? Right on the dot, look at that, fantastic. You see how I did that?
Yeah, you're awesome.
Any questions? Preguntas? First, I'd like to thank you for coming. Parent survey. How you guys doing? Okay over here? I'm not even gonna look at it. Put it over here. I'm not supposed to look at this thing. There we go. One thing I want to make clear, just because I'm posting a YouTube doesn't mean you can't come. Okay? Let's make that directly clear. I'm talking about the parents who had to work or something like that, but your responsibility is to be here. All right. So we got the surveys done. We got one more person. Remember, our goal is to work together, right? We are a team. You, me, and your child are a team. If one of us falls down on the job, then your child's going to suffer, and that's what we don't want to happen, right? Okay. And that whole sharing of student the data that you have. You know, I never even realized those folders had numbers in them. I put a Post-it note with your kid's number, okay, your child's number, okay. So you know which one belongs to you, because I put them out. Okay. And we're going to be going over your data of your child. All right. Oh my gosh, I'm falling behind. Wait, that's survey. I'm behind. Okay, we gotta go faster. Okay, we're doing an icebreaker.
Hurry up.
Okay, this icebreaker, here's what we're doing. We want to get to know each other, because you guys know me, and you know already I talk a lot, right? So here's what we're gonna do. Look at the painting. Mira tu moneda que usted tiene. Okay. Look at the date. La fecha que ellos tienen. Piensas, think about something that happened that you want to relate that happened that year. What? Tell us a story about what happened in that year. And not only that, see this is what I'm pensando, you're thinking? You guys can't talk to each other. You got to talk to him. You're going to talk to her. Do you guys know each other? You're going to talk to her because you're going to tell me what she said. All right? Okay, here we go. You're going to talk like that before she goes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You're going to talk. No? Oh, okay. You're going to talk to me. And we're going to have 1 minute. And what I do with the students is I've got my timer. Students have to learn how to be on a timer. So I'm going to put our timer. Keep me on track. We have solamente 1 minuto para charlar.
I was in 8th grade.
Are we ready? Are you thinking? Are we thinking? Okay, ready? Go. Start talking. All right, what's your day? I know, just you only gotta tell me one thing. It doesn't have to be a big thing, just a little thing. Oh, 13. Oh my gosh, you're lucky. Only 2 years ago. One thing that you want to say, we don't mind sharing, right? Of course, some of you don't mind sharing, right? Nothing too personal, right? Come on. No, you got a new car, a dog.
Right.
Anything like that.
Oh my God.
Your daughter went to 3rd grade though, right? There's something. How'd she like 3rd grade? Wasn't fond of her teacher? She's probably not fond of me. Oh, look at that time! Look how fast 1 minute went by. Okay, stop talking. We gotta keep on schedule unless we do this real quick. Okay. There we go. See that's crowd control. See how that works? Okay. I know sometimes you don't have them. Okay. Tell me one thing she said. Una cosa que ella dijo.
She only remembered to have 5 years old.
She remembers what?
She said that in 1993, she got 5 years old. 5 years old.
So, aprendiste a leer? She learned how to read at 5 years old. That's what she remembers that. All right. Okay. You need my okay. You tell me something she said.
She's Margarita. She's from Mexico. She has four children.
4 children. Okay. ¿Qué pasó en ese año? What happened that year?
Oh, no, we no.
Oh my goodness. They follow me directions. All right, well, they're getting to know each other, and really, I don't care if you follow directions or not. I mean, no, it's an icebreaker. It's an icebreaker. All right. Okay, so who are you talking? You were talking September, October, November, December, and then beginning of January, like 4 months is what. Okay. All right. So anybody know what APTT stands for when you read that dojo that I sent out? Yeah, academic, parent, teacher, team. We're a team. We're working together as a team, right? You're the parent, I try to be the teacher, right? And academically, we want the very best for our students, okay? So our goal is to learn these foundational skills. What are we going to do at home to kind of help them? Know your child's current progress on these skills. Everybody's going to get a sheet on recording that. You're going to practice these with your child at home, and it's not like it should take a long time. You know, it's going to be like a minute or two. A lot of you should just going to read 1 minute, all right? Set that timer for 1 minute, go! And they read, and then you stop them, you kind of help them, right? And then they stop, and that's what we're working on, okay? And then later on, we're just going to set a goal for our child. All right, let's see if this video works, okay? Here's a video that's kind of explaining why reading fluency is kind of important. Try not to get bored. So what is this telling us? Recall retelling information, the correlation between how they do and their grades. The best correlation where they're going to get the highest score is if they can read out loud to you, right? And, so pretty high correlation, so that's one of the reasons that we want to have good fluency with these students. We don't want them thinking about what the word means or how to say the word, right? Because then they're thinking about that and not about the overall subject that we're reading.
This study wouldn't be that significant if it were only one study, but it's just one of the more recent studies that again shows the power of oral reading fluency. But this is just one study of a body of research that's at least 25 years old, with many, many, many studies that continue to show that these 6 to 7 years are actually powerful predictors of student development.
Why is fluency so highly correlated with comprehension? Research has suggested that the working memory of the brain can only process so much information at a given time. In the 1970s, Dr. S.J. Samuels, professor at the University of Minnesota, and a pioneering fluency researcher, proposed the automaticity theory. According to Dr. Samuels, people only have so much attention to give to a task. To become proficient at something as complex as reading, students first need to master the skills they need to read, like decoding words or recognizing undecodable words, so they can perform them automatically.
Dr. Samuel's theory of automaticity really talks about the importance of instructing children so that reading the words becomes truly automatic for them. In this highly complex activity of reading, there's a lot going on. So we want the words to be recognized automatically, effortlessly, so the brain can be thinking about the meaning of what's being read.
For example, a reader who often stops to sound out individual words may not have enough mental energy left over to think about the meaning of the text. He or she must focus on decoding the words. However, a fluid reader who automatically recognizes the words can give full attention to their meaning.
You and I, we're automatic. We're so automatic, we read things we don't even want to read. Many of us
Están
read
diciendo que
cereal
a veces
boxes in
estamos
the
leyendo
morning.
cosas que nosotros
Do you ever
no
order
queremos
the
leer.
crispy?
Por ejemplo,
Probably
cuando
not.
estamos en el camino,
But we read it because the
Todos
moment our
decimos,
eyes fall on script, we read. Now, I want to
no estamos
demonstrate
pensando
how
leyendo eso,
automatic
pero
it is.
realmente nosotros estamos leyendo.
Quickly, quietly, read these words across the page as rapidly as you can.
Faster.
Not much of a reading test, is it?
Muy fácil.
Easy words, so you're very automatic with them. But what's interesting about the words is you understood the concept of these words long before you could read them. Because the concept of color is very simple compared to the concept of reading. And so this time, you should be able to name the color of the print just as easily as you read the words. So don't read the words this time, just quickly name the color of the print across the page. Anyone struggling a little?
You see that color, but it says something else, so we're
You
like
wanna
kind
say what
of,
it
our
says.
mind's a little bit confused there, because we're throwing a little bit,
Did
you
you
know, a little monkey wrench in there, throwing it for a loop a little bit there.
Problem is that the words and the colors don't match. What does your brain choose to do? Read the words. Your brain chooses to read the words because you're an automatic reader. And so this is a demonstration of how reading becomes so prominent in your mind that that's what you can do automatically. And that's what we need our children to do. The fact that you read so automatically means that when you open a book at night and you start to read, you compare the characters in this book to some other book you've once read. Some of us make soul-searching, life-altering decisions in the middle of a book. Think of the high-level thinking that's going on. That is only possible because we're not struggling with the words. And so, does fluency matter? Enormously.
And we've all read books before where, I mean, you get lost in the book, you don't even realize you're reading the book anymore, right? It's just like, oh, right, what time is it? Oh my goodness, right? Because we're so-
7:10, faster, faster.
Because we've read that book, you know, we don't want to put it down. Oh, there's my website, just so you know.
Woo!
Okay, click on it, we're down here. All right, so that's another reason why fluency is important, because if the students are thinking about what does that word mean and how do you sound out that word, they're gonna,
What do I
they're,
do with you, I'm sorry? How do I just take everything?
everything that's in that folder, yes.
So do I
You
take
everything
these
in
or
that
no?
folder. Yeah, you can take that, because you can see her scores. You can bring that back, or
Yeah,
leave
'cause I
that
wasn't
here.
sure, is this her number or the number you
The
want?
number, the number I put in there is her number.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even realize they put those numbers, because they were covered up, so.
I'll send it back with Sarah tomorrow.
But this is for helping with the fluency, and then this is to be able to watch the video.
All right, thank you so much.
You can skip through the first part of the movie. Okay, so,
Thank you.
yeah, we don't want students to have to think about what they're reading, okay?
I will.
All right, so if you look on your graph right now, okay? Okay? This is the grade level right here, so we're looking down here at 5th grade. Okay, everybody see that graph? Okay, you have your student secret number that you can look at the bottom, okay? So if we look at, for example, number 15. Student 15 is reading, let me get a student 15 here. Student 15 is reading at 139 words a minute, okay? Now, that's pretty good. They're almost where they need to be, so we just have to bring their reading level up a little bit. That'll say APTT graph right here, and it says reading fluency at the top, because there's two. There's a math one and there's a reading one, okay? All right, so student 15 is reading at 139 words a minute. 139 words means that student right now, because we are just the beginning of the year, kind of reading at the 75 percentile level, and our goal is to try and get them up to, they will be reading at the 99 percentile if they read 166 words, okay? So what is our goal by the end of the year, right? Our goal for, by the end of the year is we want our students to try and get as close to 194 words per minute as possible, okay? Eso es que nosotros queremos que ellos tratan de leer el más que de todo 194 words a minute, okay? Does that seem pretty easy? Anybody confused with that? Everybody understand that? You guys okay with that? Yeah, everybody's okay? All right.
Good to go.
Okay, good to go. All right. Okay, so that's what your chart looks like. Okay, here's our goal for the beginning right now, is what we want. And by the end of the year, we want that, really. So our goal is, if your child is already reading above 166 words per minute, when we make our SMART goals later on, you want to kind of push them to try and reach. What is that thing for? Is that a bug? It is a bug.
Ah.
I was wondering, I was like, what is that? Okay. We want our child to read as close to 194 to 200 words per minute. Okay. So you can see how, with your secret number, how your child is doing right now. Okay. All right. So, and that's in front of you, so I'm going to keep moving on here.
All right.
Up here. Okay. So, I'm going to show us a little video on how to read with your child. Okay. When we're modeling fluency, we want to choose a magazine or a book that we're going to read with our child. Okay. It's better, make sure you read it first. Make sure it's not too hard, not too easy, right? Because we want them to read at a certain level, but we want them to be comfortable and get used to that fluency. I'm going to just show you a video with this one I made. My son's the star on this one. You like that music? It's so soothing. Right? We want to be soothing.
Hi, I see that you've been reading A Week in the Woods, and so today we're going to work on fluency. Okay? And I noticed that you read up to maybe the first chapter, so I looked ahead a little bit into the next chapter, and I selected a piece that I'm going to read aloud to you. And then I want you to read the same passage back to me. And while you're doing that, I'm going to take you.
This is also my website in case you really want to see it again.
Okay?
This will help you. Like, what did they say in that video?
And Mark.
Mr. Hill's website.
After losing his balance.
My YouTube.
And after
Get it together.
Get it together, Mr. Hill, for goodness sakes. Okay. Are we ready? All right. One person's reading, the other person's just listening, right? And as you're listening, mientras estás leyendo, yo quiero que usted, fíjate, do you notice that they made any progress? Okay. Now, here's what I want the readers to do. Okay. Just so you're not too nervous. I want you to make some mistakes on purpose.
Oh.
Because I want the listener, because I want the person listening to start writing down some notes about what did you do wrong, right? Because when we're reading with our kids, aren't they going to make mistakes?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
And we're practicing listening for mistakes, right? I know we're all perfect readers in here, right?
Yes.
We are, right? We are,
yes.
right? So we're all good readers, you know. So we're listening for mistakes, but it's only 1 minute, so don't stress out too much. Are you ready?
Ready.
On your, ready, on your mark, get set. Remember, only one person's reading, you're not reading it to yourself, right?
Right.
You can't read it to yourself and make mistakes, right? Okay, are you ready? Everyone's got their partner.
Partner.
Okay, and on your mark, get set, and go. Make mistakes.
The class.
Oh, you're reading? Okay, read it. How's it going? Want to listen over here? No, you're good? I feel bad. Because I don't speak. What do you speak? Vietnamese? No, Vietnamese. A little bit of Korean. I just know the important stuff in Korea. Where's the bad thing? Give me some more garlic. And stop. Okay, now, when you stop, stop. Now, when you stop, you're gonna put a little mark on that word. Vas a poner una marca en esa palabra, okay? Pero you really need, okay, ¿dónde es ese otro? Oh, este aquí, okay. Notice on this one right here, okay? Let me see here. Sorry, I'm gonna steal that for a second. I'm stealing everything from you, sorry. Just so we kind of understand. Okay. An old diaper.
What?
My son's old diaper from Korea. My wife had this smart idea. We used a lot.
Yeah.
That lasted about a week.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now, when you are like marking your child, whatever, say they stop like right after the word groups, right? Okay. So how many words do they read per minute, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, this line is at 75 at the end of the line, so 75, 76, 77, 78 words.
Ah.
Okay? So instead of having to count all of them, that would
Thank you.
right? So 75, 76, 77, 78, and you stop them right there, okay?
Okay.
At the end here, we read how many words they read, and for every word that they kind of messed up on, they lose kind of a point of word, okay? All right? So what you want to do later on when you're reading with your child at home and other reading passages, I mean, if you just read this over and over and over again,
They're gonna get too good.
they're going to get too good, right? So you got to mix it up a little bit. Okay, mix it up a little bit. Use some other things, science, social studies, those kinds of things. But practice it with this first, okay? Y para esos estudiantes que no pueden hablar inglés muy bien o están aprendiendo inglés, usas esto más, okay? Porque nosotros queremos que ellos están entendiendo. Después de esta palabra, muchas veces es esta palabra, okay? When we work with the fluency in English, we know like after the word the, most likely the next word can be a noun. Most likely, not always, right? And that's the purpose of this whole fluency is we want to know, you know, kind of like, well, after that word, probably it's going to be that word, okay? So that's how we're going to be doing with our kids at home, right? We have that chart, the oral fluency chart. You put the name of the book here, the page number, you know, right? Title of the passage, just really kind of like the book, the page number, maybe what paragraph, and just how many words did they read, right? So easy, right?
Right. So, will this be used with their like reading log when they do their 25-page reading at night? Or is this separate?
Well, you can, I mean, the book that they're reading,
Yeah.
you might as well just use that for that 1 minute thing, right?
Right. Okay.
Right.
Just
I
checking.
mean, it's right there. right?
Okay,
So-
cool.
So we could just go ahead and use it. All right, so we did that together, so we're, oopsie, wrong one. All right, so, here's our reading log right here. Timed up to 1 minute. At the end of that 1 minute, just count the number of words that they're doing, and just record their oral fluency, right? Okay. If you want to turn it into something math, you can make a graph. You can put a chart and make a graph, because that's probably what we're going to be doing here later on. Make a graph, and then when they come in, they chart their fluency. We'll put it on a chart, and they can kind of see how the graph works, right? Hopefully, it doesn't look like the stock market these days. But that would not be good. I mean, you're going to read 1 million words a minute. No, not gonna happen, right? So, you know your child. Usted sabe tu hijo. ¿Qué piensas que ellos pueden hacer? Okay? We know where they're starting from now because you have the chart, right? How many words more per minute do you think they can do? ¿Cuántas más palabras cada minuto ustedes piensan que ellos pueden leer? Okay, practicando en casa. Okay? That's it. Here's where we're going to make our SMART goal. So the top one right there says math. So you're going to start. We're going to start on the bottom one. See the bottom? Aquí. Oh no, esto es matemáticas. Make sure you're on the read. We're going to practice our math fluency. So when you see how your child did in the math fluency one, you'll think, oh, I didn't do as well as I thought I was gonna do either. And it takes practice. It really does. It takes practice, depending on how they write the problem. All right, so what you're gonna do now, que vamos a hacer, ese de matemáticas, this one right here. You got your pen ready? You got 1 minute. Are we ready? Go back over and check their work, okay? And let me give you one piece of advice, okay? I'm going to give them some more sheets because I had some more of these printed out where they're going to work on certain skills. But look up here, please. Mira aquí, por favor. Once they start doing this, they're going to memorize those numbers in order, right? They're not going to be thinking. So this is what you have to do. After you do a few of these, say, okay, now I want you to start. Now I want you to start from here and work this way backwards. Now I want you to start over here and work this way. Now I want you to go from here, work in a triangle here, and then triangle there, and then go, you know. Because otherwise, they're just going to memorize it. They're not going to really be learning. So, because kids don't realize, hey, I know the first ones are 7.
I remember that.
And ustedes saben tus hijos. You know your students. You know their work habits. Usted sabes cómo la fuerza que ellos van a poner en esto. Okay? Si ellos son muy bajos, necesitas empujarlos. Okay, if your kids are really low, you need to push them, right? That's our job as parents, right?
Right.
And we can't be their friends always. We love them, which means we push them, okay? So, make it attainable, something realistic that they can do, okay? I will tell you that one of my centers in class when we do our math workshop is I've got stacks of things here. They're just working on math fluency. Right? That's one of the, or, you know, you can use a deck of cards. Play with your kids. Otro juego que ustedes pueden hacer con a deck of cards is just flip the cards over like you're playing war.
Oh, yeah.
You've got an 8, I've got a 7. Who's the first one to say the product of that? Right? And just play it that way. Okay? You know, you can pick it, you know, Jack would be 11. Queen would be 12, right? And ace would be 1 or 0. Okay? All right, so ahora vamos a hacer los nuevos goals para matemáticas. Este papel otra vez, this purple piece of paper right here. Now we're going to make our math goals up here. How much did your child do now? How much do you want them to do in 60 days?